Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Amanda and I'm really excited for today because it's Taco Tuesday. So we are going to be making tacos and more than likely nachos because everyone likes nachos and tacos. But I'm also going to be making some homemade salsa and I'm so excited because I'm going to be using stuff from our garden, and I also got food storage containers from Amazon, so I can go ahead and freeze some up too. So I'm really excited to try this because this is new for me to try freezing it, and then that way we can have it other times throughout the year. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to be using the Foodie Ninja Possible Cooker Pro, and we're going to go ahead and put the chicken in it, and we're going to cook it for 6 hours on low.
I should have mentioned that we are doing chicken tacos for tonight.
And I'm not going to butterfly these because it's going to cook nicely in the crock pot. All right, let me just go ahead and wash my hands. So for the taco seasoning, I am using all natural taco seasoning that I got from Costco, and I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of this. Perfect. Just going to go ahead and toss it on top of the chicken. I know it seems like a lot, but it'll be okay. It'll taste great. Now we are going to need a 1/4 cup of water. So let me go get some water. I'm using the same measuring cup that I used to put the seasoning in, and just adding the water in just helped get the rest of the stuff that was on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour that on top of the chicken. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a stir. All right, I am using silicone tongs again because this is a non-stick coating on the inside of my Ninja Foodie Possible Cooker Pro, and I really love it, so I would like to take good care of it to make sure it doesn't get scratched up or anything like that.
After tossing the chicken in the taco seasoning and the 1/4 cup of water that I add, I decided that it was best to go ahead and add another 1/4 cup of water because, you know, I'm so used to just eyeing out measurements when I pour without measuring it. So definitely adding another 1/4 cup of water will help this.
Right, in order to do this, you're going to turn it on, or hit power, and we're going to put it on low. We're going to leave it on slow cook, and I'm going to hit 6 hours for the time, and we're going to hit start, and we're going to go ahead and put the lid on. And here is the taco seasoning that I got from Costco that I am using for this dish. Okay, for the roasted salsa, we're going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 425 degrees. And I'm going to use some jalapenos and some tomatoes from my garden. I have some Roma tomatoes. Sorry, not Roma. I have, these are early girl tomatoes that I'm using for this recipe. And it's not fresh cilantro from my garden because I don't have luck yet with growing cilantro from my garden. Next year I will probably try to do that. But this year I just bought some store-bought cilantro and just cleaned it up. And I'm going to be using some garlic and some white onion. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I am going to use a roasting tray for my tomatoes, and I'm going to use a baking sheet for my jalapenos and the onions and the garlic. So I am just taking out the stem part, so that way we don't have that big chunk in there. So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 tomatoes that I'm using. And this is my first time doing this. I've seen a lot of different ways people have done this, so I am doing it how I want to do it, and also I'm going to taste it as I go to how I'm going to season it as well, because you want to season it to your liking of how you like your salsa. I'm really excited about this. I have canned salsa and I wasn't really happy with it. So trying this freezer roasted salsa, I'm really excited to try. I've even seen some people put them on directly on the grill, and I would love to try that one day and have my husband grill it because he does the grilling for me. So that would be really neat to try with some other peppers that I have growing in the garden right now. The only ones that have started to really produce anything are the jalapenos. So I'm using the jalapenos in this recipe. But I have poblanos, serrano peppers, habanero peppers. What's the other one? There's another one that we got too. I can't remember. It's a really spicy one and I can't remember it. It'll come to me later. Oh, ghost peppers. Was it ghost peppers? My daughter's saying it's ghost peppers, but I know we have 2 spicy ones in out there. So I think she is right. I think it is a ghost pepper. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut these in half. Now that I got all the little stems out. I actually moved the crock pot to another part of the kitchen because that way I could have a little more room for this. And I actually added another 1/4 a cup of water. So I gave it a total of 1/2 cup of water to the chicken because the seasoning was starting to kind of clump in certain areas and I really wanted to have a nice mixture to it. So I added an additional 1/4 cup of water to it. All right, let me clean this up and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I actually ordered some gloves because I wear contacts and when I cut jalapenos or any type of really hot peppers, my fingers still burn. Also, with fig season coming around, these are perfect for getting the figs because when you pull the figs, it also releases a sap that can actually burn. So I wanted to be prepared for that as well. So I am going to be trying out these new gloves. I've not used them yet. So that way I can go ahead and cut up some jalapenos and be able to take my contacts out at night. So I'm really excited about these. I can hear my youngest over there in the dining room. We're going to cut the stem part off. And then I'm just going to cut it in half. And remove that. Be right. Okay, so I got my youngest in the kitchen with me. He definitely was getting into a lot of stuff, and it was definitely time for something to eat. So I needed to get some new gloves on, and I actually got like a smaller pair so that way my children can try to wear them too when we do fig season, try to pick all the figs off the tree. So I definitely recommend that your hands are completely dry before trying to put them on because they're kind of hard. Anyways, let's get back on track. So we're going to go ahead and cut up the jalapenos. But I do like these gloves. They are staying nicely on my hands, which is a plus because last year I had some that were loose fitted and I really couldn't figure out where I was cutting on the jalapenos. So these are really nice so far. Now this is one of the different jalapenos that I planted this year. So we have more of a traditional size, regular shaped one, and then this one was a different one. I'm gonna have to go out and read the tag on this one. I can't remember the name. I want to say it starts with an M for this jalapeno. So I'm really excited to try this out.
They are mammoth jalapenos, and you can wait for them to turn red to be hotter. I used 9 total jalapenos.
All right, so now we're going to take a white onion. Remove the outer paper. I just looked out the window. It looks like it's going to rain. Although the forecast says it's not going to rain today, but it's kind of definitely cloudy out there. But I got out there early this morning and watered the garden, which was really nice before it got too hot. I love watering the garden in the morning time. All right, now we're going to make these into slices.
You want to cut the onion into thick slices.
So I have 4 nice slices. All right, and I got 2 garlics. So I'll let you know how many cloves are actually in there. Is it good? He's eating a banana right now. And we're going to remove the paper from this as well. Now, I have seen some people too where they leave it in the paper and then they just squeeze it out at the end. But I want to remove the paper from it. We're not slicing them up. We're going to leave them in the whole. Bless you. It's lunchtime around here. Okay. Bless you. I'm really excited about this. Now, I have not washed up my containers. I will wash them up, some of them by hand, while this is roasting in the oven, because I was not sure like how many I would need for how many tomatoes I'm using, since this is my first time doing this. But they are dishwasher safe, so you can easily just wash them in the dishwasher, and you can reuse them too. And they are 16 ounces that I am using for the containers. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this away while I have my gloves on. Be right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the outer layer paper from the garlic cloves, and I have 1, 2, 3, 24 garlic cloves. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them. I'm going to kind of add as I like for my taste. Yeah? Do you need more banana? I think someone needs more banana. Is it good? Wow. Hi. How are you? Yeah? Dada. Don't hurt yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing? You being silly? He's being silly over there. Almost done getting all the little papers, like the stuff off the garlic. Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Hello, hello. Can you clap your hands? Hello, hello. Can you clap your hands? Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up, and then I'm going to get him something else and make him happy. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we are going to take some olive oil, and we're going to put them on top of the garlic and the onions and the jalapenos, and also on top of the tomatoes. And now we're going to take some salt. Hi. So now we're going to take some salt and season on top. And we're going to season the tomatoes too. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and get them in the oven for 30 minutes. And I have the oven set for 425. And these onions, I'm just gonna kind of toss a little bit because that way both sides get nicely, and the olive oil and salt. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those in there. And we're gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. I'm gonna hit start. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands and clean up. So I'll see you guys in a bit. So I have 2 more minutes left on the clock. Actually, a minute left now. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the onions with the garlic because some of the garlic cloves are getting kind of charred, and I'm definitely not gonna use those ones. So it was good that I actually put extra in there to figure out, you know, how much I want to use. So it was really smart to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the tomatoes, which they look really beautiful. I'm gonna show you how everything looks. Ooh, they look really good. Look how beautiful those tomatoes look. Nicely roasted. See here, I was saying that some of the... Hi, my youngest one's outside. See, you can see some of the... Hi. Some of them have really charred up, so I'm going to use some of the ones that are not. And look how beautiful those look. You went outside, huh? Oh, mommy set off the smoke alarms, huh? Okay, I'm gonna let these cool down before I go ahead and put them in my food processor. So I'll see you guys back in probably about like an hour. So see you guys then. Okay, so now that everything has cooled down, I can hear my kids back there laughing. They're being crazy. Anyways, we are gonna go ahead and start processing this stuff in the food processor now that everything has cooled down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead by adding the onions. And this is 1 whole onion. Well, that's white onion. And I'm feeling for the garlic to make sure that, you know, the ones I'm using, there's nothing hard. And let me get a better angle and you can really see what I'm doing. So this one has a little bit of char on it, but that's not bad. I still want to use the ones that are really hard. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and add the jalapenos.
Next season, I want to put more jalapeno plants in my garden because I really liked how this salsa turned out. So I definitely want to be making more salsas because it is really tasty.
I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes in.
Now that I have the onions, the garlic, the jalapenos, the tomatoes, all in the food processor, I'm going to go ahead and pulse them till I get the consistency that I would like for my salsa to be. Now, I did not add the liquid in yet from the tomatoes because I wanted to make sure that, you know, you can always add more than taking it away. So I wanted to slowly add in the ingredients such as the liquid that was left over from the tomatoes roasting in the oven. So I definitely pulsed this until I got the consistency that I wanted. And it was a thick salsa, so then I added the liquid that came off of the tomatoes while they were roasting in the oven. That way it helped thin it out, but still adding all that good natural flavor from the tomatoes. Now that I have the consistency that I like, I added it to a bowl and I reserved some in the food processor so that way I could add the cilantro to it, and that way I can pulse it up to the consistency that I would like for how thin I want the cilantro to be, you know, like not big chunks of it, but, you know, nice bite size, you know, in every kind of bite you get with your chip. So, and then I added more of the juice from the roasting pan into the food processor as well that was still left over. I washed my cilantro up very well in my salad spinner, rinsing it quite a few times to get all that sand off of it. You know, when you get it from the store, there's quite a bit of stuff in it. And so I definitely thoroughly washed it. And then I did 3 good handfuls of the cilantro and put it in the food processor. Instead of me pulsing this one, I really blended this one because I wanted my cilantro to be kind of fine for to be in the salsa. I didn't want big leaves of it. So, you can pulse it or blend it for how long or however you would like it to be in your salsa. The nice thing about making homemade salsa is you can really personalize it to your flavor and your liking. I really liked making this and being able to freeze it. I've done it where I've canned it, and that was last summer, and I was not a fan of it. It just took too long, and it just wasn't where I really wanted the flavors to be. Whereas this, I really can, add as I like and have it all year long, keep it in the freezer. The other plus side, it's not going to take up space on my shelves for all the things that I am going to be canning this summer. So I have 3 freezers, and this will be perfect in one of them.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add, as I drop that, half a tablespoon of cumin. And here's where you can add, how much you want for seasoning, to make it to where it's more flavorful to your liking. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of lime juice. And I'm going to add a little more salt. I know I seasoned the stuff with salt before I put it in the oven, but I should have done a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and give this a mix, and then we're going to go ahead and taste it. And the nice thing too is you can, pulse the food processor as much as you'd like to get it to be the consistency you want for your fire roasted salsa. So let me go ahead and get a tortilla chip and we can try it. That's really good. I'm going to add just a little bit more salt to it. It is really good though. You want to taste it? All right. Let me see if I like this real fast and then I'll get you a taste. Okay. We can try it. That might have a little heat to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You like it? I like your dad's gonna like it. All right, it's really good. I'm gonna go ahead and wash up some containers and then go ahead and put these in containers and save 1 out for tonight and then freeze the rest. So, hi. Here comes my other little one. All right, and then I'll go ahead and start making tacos and show you how that works out. So see you guys in a bit.
I will definitely be making more salsa this summer because I only got like 3.5 of the containers filled. I was really hoping for more, but I did definitely start off small so I could see if I really liked how it turned out. But the containers are awesome. I'm really excited about it. I definitely will be making more. The chicken's done. It's dinner time. I'm going to go ahead and pull the chicken out and I'm going to cut it up so that way I can put it into tacos for everyone. Now I used 2 chicken breasts and this was perfect because that way I'd have leftovers for the next few nights and we could definitely make nachos or tacos again, but this was perfect for my family and then I wouldn't have to cook another night. The only thing I would have to do is just really put it together and that way then it's set, but I don't have to make another main meal of cooking more meat or something like that. I turned the stove to medium heat and I poured in some vegetable oil and I am using corn wraps. They're little ones, they're perfect, and I'm going to place some cheese on top And then I'm going to shred up some chicken into smaller bites and use black beans as well in it too. Some I'm going to do without black beans, some I will add the black beans into it, but definitely before adding the corn wrap, you want to make sure that the pan is heated up. If not, then you're going to get a really soggy, kind of like first pancake you make on a hot pan that, the first one's always the worst one. Lately, my kids have really been liking tacos this way. It's nice because the corn ones heat up so well in the pan. Plus, I can eat them, they're gluten-free, and then everyone really likes it. So it's nice because then that way it's held all together for my kids instead of like the tacos are like just really falling apart for them. Everything's falling out the sides. Once the bottom starts to get to a nice crispy, then you're going to want to fold over the other side on top of the chicken black bean area, and that way then it closes it together. The cheese melts in on each side. You kind of got to, help hold it down a little bit too. And then once that heats up, you're going to flip it over on the other side. And then just really monitor about how the heat is going on the pan, because you don't want to where it's going to get too hot for a while and then it starts really burning the shells. So after a while, once you start seeing it getting too burnt, you then want to turn it down. You can turn it down to, I actually turned mine down to low, but once you really get to learn your stove and how it works, because sometimes each stove is so different on the setting of the medium heat and the low heating setting. So, just really learn your stove and how to, monitor with the setting for that. But these are really tasty and they were really easy too. Now, I only made a total of 9 of these tacos. I figured if anyone wanted any more, I could definitely easily just turn the pan back on, reheat it up, add a little more vegetable oil, and repeat the process. And we did not do the nachos tonight because the kids were like, oh, we want these instead. And then I figured I would save the chicken for the next night to do nachos with it. And then that way it'd be easily, ready for the next night and not have to cook some more meat. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys try making the salsa, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. But everything was amazing.